Okay, in this video I'm gonna show how to fix headlights that are basically yellow. That happens over time with vehicles, and one of the reasons is because the headlights in vehicles now they're basically made out of plastic, clear plastic instead of glass. And what happens over time is they get yellow, and that happens from UV rays. It gets oxidized. I mean, it does take a while, but this car is 2006 Honda Accord, and as you can see, the lights are pretty yellow and foggy. Basically, to fix that, you need to use sandpaper and to take off that damaged layer from the headlight. There's a lot of YouTube videos that use things like WD-40 or simply using polish. None of it really works that well because it doesn't really fix the underlying issue. So it looks kind of okay when it's wet, but once this WD-40 or other stuff comes off, the problem comes back. This fix will actually fix it for a while. So what you do is basically you spray the headlight with water and you just use a very fine sandpaper. The one I used two different types. I used 600 grit to start with, and I used 1500 grit to finish it. You can see now basically that's after using sandpaper for about 10 minutes. You can see it's already way better than it was. The yellow shade that it had before is gone, so now it becomes more clear. It still kind of looks foggy and stuff, but at least it doesn't look yellow. So after I do it for about 10 minutes with the 600 grit sandpaper, I use the 1500 grit for about 5 more minutes. And don't forget to spray water. It has to be wet. And as you can tell, it looks way better than it was before. It already looks probably like 70% of what brand new look like. The yellow is pretty much completely gone, and you can, when it's wet, you can actually see right through it. Obviously it's not going to stay like this. As I mentioned before, it only looks clear when it's wet, but the yellow layer is gone, and what we're gonna do now is actually spray the clear coat on top of it. It's basically the same stuff that you use for cars, the paint on the car, clear coat. And what that's gonna do is gonna give us permanent UV protection, as well as provide the same effect that water does, except that will be permanent. Obviously the paint is not gonna get washed away by rain or by a car wash. So once you've more or less happy with the result of using the sandpaper, just dry it. Make sure it's dry. Obviously we don't want to spray paint over the water, and then apply the paint. This is the final result. You can see the difference. It's not completely perfect because if you look very closely, you can see a little bit of the web that developed. But still, this is about 80 to 90% of what the brand new headlight looked like. And it's day and night difference compared to the old one. And all that cost about $20. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'm gonna be making more videos. This is the very first one I ever made, so I know it's not very good. I'm just learning how to actually even putting it all together, sound over video over pictures. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. One of the things you could do in your car that I didn't do here is basically use masking tape to mask off the paint around the headlight so you don't scratch the paint. This car is pretty old. It's a 14-year-old car, so I didn't bother doing that, because when I used to spray clear coat, it actually covered those small scratches anyway. I was just trying to be very careful, that's all. But definitely, if you feel like it, you can do that. Thanks.